Hey Mindy, it's good to see you again.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So how have things been since we met last?
Pretty good. You know, it's
Okay.
crazy busy at work and it's crazy busy in grad school, but other than that, you know, I'm hanging in.
Yeah. Last time we did the depression inventory and we talked about using some of the mantras for your affirmation. How has that been going?
That's good. I do find myself stopping the negative, you know, thinking and moving towards the mantras and, you know, the affirmations. I like that.
So you're not beating yourself up as bad?
I'm trying not to.
Okay, good. Well, looking at the anxiety, it looks like you scored quite a bit higher on the anxiety than the depression. So you scored at a 20, which is moderate anxiety. So would you say that sounds pretty accurate?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. And, you know, I wonder, like, what your take is on, you know, situational anxiety. Is it, you know, can it be situational since, you know, like now I'm in grad school and I'm trying to finish up, we have these tests. Do you think that, you know, it could be a little situational or?
Absolutely, yeah. I think there's some people that just have it all the time and they learn ways to cope with it. And I think that some people, it just arises with these situations and then some for both.
Yeah.
So what about you? So before grad school, how was the anxiety level?
I mean, I feel like I'm one of those people that always have anxiety, but like I do feel it go up, you know, in certain circumstances. Like I can even look back to when I was a kid and like I would get real anxious about going to like big sporting event games, like high school football games or high school basketball games. Like and I didn't know it was anxiousness then, but I think
it didn't have a label then.
Yeah, but like looking back, I definitely even had anxiety then, and it makes sense because my dad also struggled with some anxiety, and so.
So it sounds like you've seen a pattern since you were small, and you're also seeing the genetic part of it.
Yeah.
So going into the basketball games, like when you were young, so it was that social aspect. There are a lot of people.
Yeah.
And is that still there with the social part?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, not so much like with my students in high school games, you know, but like, you know, I'm not like a huge crowd person. Like I don't love those kind of situations.
Yeah, and that's okay. Like at least you know that about yourself.
Yeah.
And you know what situations to avoid.
Right.
That would provoke the anxiety. So looking here, it looks like fear of the worst happening. Could you talk more about that for me?
Yeah. So I do see sometimes how. You know, it's kind of like along the same line as the depression inventory where those negative thoughts, like I can definitely imagine the worst happening. Like I think that's a habit of mine.
So how often would you say that happens?
I would say a couple times a week.
Okay, so it's not something that's really affecting you every day with fear of the worst happening.
Right, but there are some, like a couple times a week I find myself doing it.
So when those thoughts arise, is that something that you can cope with and you can talk yourself out of that?
Yeah, and it's just like the depression inventory where we were talking about how like I almost exhaust myself thinking about it, and then it's like I think about it, and then all of a sudden it's like I'm too tired to think about it anymore, and then it's done.
Okay, yeah. So it's just that cognitive part, just talking yourself out of the irrational part of it.
Yeah.
Okay. What about the fear? I guess the fear of losing control kind of goes along with it, and then being scared. So is there something specific that has happened that you want to share that would kind of give an example of that?
So, yeah, I mean, I know it's irrational, but it'll feel real at the time. Like sometimes I'll wake up and like I'll have to check on Finnegan because I'm afraid that somebody, you know, has come in to the house or something. And so like I find myself going in and checking on him. And when he was a baby, like I would check to like hear him breathing and things like that. And like I know that it's irrational, and I can tell myself, you know, it is irrational, but this being scared is real. Like I can feel scared.
So what does that feel like?
It just feels like I've worked myself up. Like I'm you know, like I can tell I've worked myself up about it. Like I wake up and then I'm like,
to a point of like not being able to go back to sleep, and or your
well,
thoughts
once I
just
see,
all stirred
yeah,
up.
I mean, once I go in, you know, his room, I'm like, oh yeah. It's
And
okay.
I think there's a part of that that's not, you know, irrational, because you are a mother who cares about, you know, her son. So there is a part of that I think that is okay that you're doing that. It's just to the point of where is this starting to interfere with your life, like in an unhealthy way.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's not there, but I mean, I can see, because I can see that it is irrational, but it's still scary.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It does. So it sounds like in everything that you've kind of explained, that you're looking at things that you've done or things that have happened, and you're seeing them in a different context than what they really happen.
Definitely.
But you recognize that.
I do recognize that.
So it sounds like you're already using, you know, some good strategies in recognizing that, just, you know, in your thought processes. Is there anything else that you found helpful with that?
Well, like, I know that, I don't know if it's a strategy, but it's like when I'm feeling anxious, I kind of go through this mental checklist in my head, and I'll say things like, am I worried about Finnegan? No. Am I worried about like my marriage or, you know, my husband and I? No. Am I worried about my sister? And I just kind of go through a mental checklist, and I don't understand it, but like I know that I do, like it's exhausting. Like I don't know if you know, like going through that checklist, it's exhausting. So by the time I've checked everything off, I'm like, holy heck, I'm tired.
Yeah.
Like forget being nervous or anxious.
Well, that's a step. At least you have that tool to pull, and you know that helps you settle.
Yeah.
So I guess my thought is now, what could we do to shorten that process so you're not so exhausted after it? Are there things that you could take off the checklist just to make it quicker to like alleviate the anxiety?
Or like maybe just, I don't know if it would help to, like, I know before you and I were talking about like a gratitude journal, and you had mentioned, you know, like keeping like the thankful thoughts instead of like focusing on the anxious thoughts, maybe being proactive and looking at what I am grateful for, and what, you know, maybe that'll put my mind, I don't know, but maybe it'll put my mind at rest.
Yeah, I think that's an awesome idea. I've tried that before, and it definitely helps, because it does take those negative thoughts away and puts them straight on the positive thoughts. And there's actually an app. It's called Gratitude Journal app, and it's real easy. Just put something in every day.
And then is that something you can go back and look at? Because I was thinking, like, when I do feel anxious, like I can read my, you know, what I am grateful for and what I am feeling good about, and that it might make those anxious thoughts
just go straight to that. And yeah. I think that's a great idea. Yeah, you can go back and look at it real quick. And
I definitely need that app.
Yeah, my gratitude journal. I think it's cheap. It's like $1.99 or something.
I can afford that.
Yeah, you can do that. All right. Well, so how are you feeling?
I feel pretty good. Yeah, I feel like we've got some strategies. I've got some strategies I can use.
Okay, awesome.